Hey guys, we're going to teach you how to save money during COVID times. We're going to use a Honda Accord 1998 3.0 EXL car. We're going to teach you how to change the rotors for today's take and be cognizant and aware on what car mechanics do. Remember guys, always protect yourself. Gloves, remember, you got to wrap her before you whack her. First we're going to jack the car. So underneath there should be areas designated to jack up the car. On this side, because we're going to take out the rotors on the driver's left front side, we're going to jack up the car, make sure that it's underneath and hooked up exactly on the location. Then we're going to raise it up by hand just so it's easier. Once that is done, we're going to jack up the car using this tool here. See? It makes the car go up. That's what she said. We're just going to jack up the car a little bit. Now we're just going to take out the bolts here just to loosen it, because once the car is jacked up, it's going to be hard to remove the bolts. So look right here. It should be this one. There you go. Now the car is jacked up to a height where we can always remove the tire. See? I can even put my hands down here. Now we're just going to unbolt the bolts here. So all the four bolts are taken out. They're called lug nuts. We're going to take out the tire. Now we get access to the brakes. We're going to use a supporting jack. Safety is always first, so we're going to find a place where we can put it. Found a good place, so in case the jack falls or fails, this is going to protect my cameraman and myself. Now we're just going to find a bolt, most likely is a size 10. Could be bigger. Okay, does it work? Could be size 12. Nope, it's a size 13. We're going to use a size 13 socket and a basic wrench. We're going to loosen up the bolt up here, top and bottom. Actually size 12, sorry. This is a supporting jack. This here is a rotor. This is the brake caliper. All part of the brake caliper. This is a brake caliper bracket here. Brake caliper. We're gonna attack and remove the two bolts here and down here, so we can get access to the brake pads, and then we can remove each of these bolts here, or these screws here, so we can change the rotor. As you can see, the rotor here is already rusted and it's warping. We need to change it to give you maximum brake stopping power. And this here, the roughness here will cause vibrations as you brake at high speeds, around at 80 kilometers. We're going to remove the top bolt here of the caliper bracket. It's going to be a little bit tight. There's one. Going to remove that top bolt. Going to put it here on the floor so it doesn't get lost. We're going to hit the next one. on the bottom. Once we've done that, we're going to get a pry bar or a flathead screwdriver just to pry this off. Something like this will work, just so we can squeeze it and leverage it. We're just going to use basic physics. We're going to shove this thing here just to lift it up. I'm going to put this caliper up here just so it doesn't hang and the hose here doesn't get damaged. So we're going to pop off each brake pad. This brake pad, I changed it a couple months ago. It's still thick, so it's in good condition. I'm going to leave that here in the corner. So to take off the caliper rotor, we have to access and remove this bolt and this bolt down here. So this bolt up here and this bolt down here. It's very simple. Okay. So first, we're going to turn this bolt counterclockwise so we can remove it. So remember, this way is counterclockwise, this way is clockwise. You don't want to tighten it. So we're going to use a size 17 and a breaker bar. It's kind of rusty, so it's going to take some time. There it gets loosened up. And then now we're going to do the same thing on the bottom here. I turned the wheels this way so it can give us better access, and I can let you viewers know what bolts I'm taking out. Once that is done, we're just going to use a regular ratchet. And then now we can change this. Doing this on all sides will ensure you save yourself at least $300 minimum. So we're just removing the bottom bolt first. See, it's pretty rusted. I'll use some anti-seize compound. And we'll take off this one. Sorry guys. We can adjust that. So we took the top one. Now we can remove this brake caliper bracket. These are the ones that hold the brake pads in place. Once that is done, now to remove this brake rotor, we have to remove this standard Phillips screw here and here. So in most Honda cars, they have Phillips screws. So you'd have to take off this Phillips screw here and this Phillips screw here to gain access and remove this rotor here, this rusted old rotor. So we're going to use a punching tool. This here is called a punching tool. It's heavy duty. It'll rotate. As you hammer it here, it rotates the tool, and it won't de-thread the screws. That rusted old screw rotate, we're going to have to hammer it. We're going to hammer it pretty hard. See how that rotates? Right there. And we're going to do the second one also. If you don't have this, good luck in spending hours to maybe take this off. So we're going to take it off. One there. Another one here. This will at least save you a couple $100. And you can choose your own brand. Once that is done, You pop off the old one. See how it's rusted? It's been on the car maybe since 1998.
Explain what that is.
We're gonna use a new Ray Bestos. It's a very good brand, the best in brakes, maybe. For a brand new one, nice new one with anti-rust proof. See the new one, the old one. The new one is even heavier than the older one. Before we even put a rotor, it's not necessary, but it is good practice to put anti-seize compound here. Just a little bit, just so it doesn't rust. It's like you're painting, right? Just it prevents corrosion, and when you do remove these rotors again in a few years, at least it's easier to take off. So we're going to put it back. I'm going to put these screws again. Make sure they're nice and tight. You don't want these things falling off. Now once that is done, we're going to put the brake caliper back. We're going to use these bolts here. We're also going to use some anti-seize compound so it doesn't seize in the future. Right here. Right. Make sure they're well lubricated in the hole, just like sex, right? Leaves there. This thing back. Put the bolt back up top here. Move all this dirt. Alright, so once we get the caliper bracket into place, we're just going to bolt them on here and here. So do it with my hand. Once they're tightened, we're just going to use a breaker bar to make sure it's really tight. And use the other one. Once that is done, we're just going to get a breaker bar, and then we're just going to tighten it just to make sure in safety. See, it's loose. Wait for it. Make sure it's snug. I'm going to go on the bottom here. Going to make sure it's snug. 1, 2, 3. Going to do one more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once that is done, just gonna get one more. Never know. Okay. I'm gonna put back the brake pads. So the brake pads here, you can see they're shaped. That means you just put them in here. The way it's shaped, follow it. So just put it in here. There you go. That in itself, someone will charge you maybe $100 just to replace the brake pads. So take the other brake pad, put it in the back. It's hard to see. There she's in there. Make sure everything's good. Just gonna put a little bit of brake lubricant just on the sides here. We should do it there as well, but no need. I've done this before. So next is we're gonna take a 5-inch C-clamp, because we don't, and then we're just gonna push it in. To push it in, just so it's, so we can put the brake pads in, and it's I was saying, just so it's flushed together. So give it one squeeze, keep squeezing it until it's flushed. So that is done. Now we can put this back. Put it back there. Before we do that, we're just going to make sure that these things are squeezy. Put a little bit of grease here. Gonna put this back. Take the screw or this bolt, we're gonna put it back in here. Just gonna make sure it goes in right and we don't loose thread it. That one. We're going to take a size 14 so we can tighten it up, and we can we'll close this up and go on the other side. So you're just going to do this by hand. Going to do the bottom. Tire is going to go on easily. We're just going to jack up the car just a little bit more. Once that is done, we're going to take the tire, we're going to take the bolt, and we're just going to see if it lines up. Once it lines up, grab each bolt, put it in together. Once that is done, we're just going to lower the car, make sure nothing's underneath. Nothing underneath the car, and it's safe to do so. We will lower the car. We'll do it reverse. Once the jack is down, you can tell that this wheel now is now supporting the car. We're just gonna tighten it up. Give it not snug and tight. When you tighten up a car, remember to do crisscross. Never go around in circles. So that it's the force and it is evenly distributed. Just do this one by hand. Just gonna make sure it's snug tight. One here. Here. Do another tug. There we go. And she should be good. Hey guys, thank you for watching. If you like it, please like and subscribe a little bit more. Also, I'm not licensed, but I'm just here to give you more information and if you want to try it out yourself. Thank you for watching again.